Hey everyone, we've officially launched our velocity-based training features on Proteus, and I'm here to walk you through how to use it in our testing and our freestyle modes for training. So let's dive in. To get to the feature, you're going to go into freestyle mode, and then you're going to notice at the bottom of the screen a new bar appears. There's a few different things that have changed here, but that's the main thing I want to talk about, which is the new VBT zone tracker. So what you're going to do is you'll notice that you have this little button for edit velocity target, and in here you can select what range of velocity you want to train in. So if you want to train for strength, you can select that. That's 0 to 0.75 meters a second. Train for power, that's 0.75 to 1.25 meters a second. And then train for speed, that's anything over 1.25 meters a second. So you can select those preset zones, or you can use this slider to select a custom zone that you want, or obviously you can go and use free use where you don't even need to use the VBT feature at all. But for the sake of this demo and helping you guys understand how it works, I'm gonna start with training power so you can see how this mode works. And then once you start, you're gonna notice this little power meter here. And when I do an exercise, and I'm just gonna clear all the measurements to start. When I do an exercise, it's gonna see how fast I'm moving. So if I pause at the end, you'll see that this meter will tell me if I'm in the zone or not. The key here is that you have to do the movement and then stop so you can register and see how fast that movement was, right? So in this case, I got right in between the desired zone of 0.75 to 1.25 meters a second, and you can see what the actual target was here in your average meters a second number. So I was at 1.07 meters a second. Okay, so now I'm going to go a little slower intentionally. Right? You see how now I'm going too slow, right? And I'm not hitting my target. So what it's telling me to do is to decrease my weight so that I can get into that target zone, right? Right? Now in this case, now I'm going too fast, so it's going to want me to increase my weight, right? So the idea here is you want to stay in that target zone. So when it comes to actual velocity-based training, the goal is to train in the zone for the velocity, making sure you're doing maximum intent. And then what this will do is tell you, do you need to increase weight, decrease rate, etc. So you'll notice that obviously if we go into say something like the train strength preset, obviously this is going to be for very heavy movements. You're only going to be doing movements that are pretty slow. If you go too fast, right, obviously that means the weight isn't heavy enough, and it's going to tell you to increase that weight so that you can make it heavier, right? Now the key to using this mode is you have to pause after each rep. So let's say we're doing like a push-pull. If I push it, right, that's telling me that I'm obviously moving too fast, but I have to pause here. When I pull back here, if we're doing a push-based exercise, I don't care about that return movement, okay? All we really care about is that push. So I push, right? We see if we're in the zone or not. When I pull back to do the return, since I'm not training that movement, I can ignore those numbers. So we only pay attention to the numbers during the push movement, right? And then kind of the last couple things that are kind of new here is we also have a running timer. So you can use that to say, do any type of conditioning work. Say you want to say, work at a certain speed target for a certain period of time. Say 1 minute, trying to train from 0.75 to 1.25 meters a second. We also added a work total. So you'll see on here total kilojoules. That's for the entire period of time until you reset it. So this is a great way to do conditioning. See if you're having your clients say, try to beat a certain amount of work in a certain period of time. So that's kind of covering all the main changes here. We'd really like to get your feedback, how useful this is for you, how it's working for you. And then obviously we'd love to see what kind of use cases you guys come up with. So let us know if you have any questions, and looking forward to getting your feedback. Thanks.
Nailed that.
All right, cool.